What's up, postal people? All right, guys. So, welcome back to another day in the life of a postal lady. So, I just got done eating lunch, and y'all, I got to thinking about this the other day. I had made a video on it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna redo that one. So, the other day, I had a customer tried to buy me lunch, and he was like, I'm gonna buy you lunch. I'm gonna buy you lunch, and I kept saying, no, sir, no, thank you. um, no, thank you, sir, no, thank you. And I got to thinking about that, and I said, you know what, this is something that I think a lot of people need to hear. A lot of people need to hear about why we shouldn't be accepting those tips and that extra money from these people, even whenever they say that there's nothing attached to it. All right, this goes to everybody out there because whenever this incident happened to me, I wasn't even working here. I was a server, y'all. So I want to share this. So let me tell y'all. When I first got started serving as a waitress, I had a customer that came in. He was super sweet, super nice. Most sweetest, most kindest customer I'd had all day. I thought it was strange that he wanted to talk to me all day. Like, well, for as long as he did. But hey, I was like, I'm a server. He's willing to pay for the rest of my day. And let me tell y'all, the tip that he gave me was real nice. Okay, so he had paid for the rest of my tables, if I even had any coming in or anything, y'all. Just so that way I could sit down and talk with him. And as servers, that's what we do. You sit down and talk to people. So that's what I did. So I sat down, I talked with him for some hours, and I remember after our conversation, my god sister had walked over to me at that time because she worked at the same restaurant. She was walked over to me at that time, and she was like, "Girl, you talked to him for a long time." And when I showed her the tip, she was like, "Girl, I would have been talking too." So on our way out, we left. He had already left. At least that's what I thought. I thought he had left. And we left, cleaned up the restaurant, and was getting ready to head home. Actually, we were getting ready to head over to a friend's house that was a little far. She was quite a ways away from us, right? So we went over there to head to her house. And when we got there, I seen this van pull up beside us. And I just thought maybe it was my friend's boyfriend. I mean, my friend's her mother's boyfriend is what I thought. I thought it was her mother's boyfriend that pulled up. And, so I just kind of kept on. I was like, hey, how you doing? And I turned back around to my god sister, and she said, don't freak out. But that is the man from the diner. And y'all, I freaked out. I started freaking out in my head, y'all. I started freaking out in my head, and I guess the man could see it because when I turned back around, I had to like kind of get myself together. And when I turned back around to him, y'all, I ain't no telling what was in my eyes. Ain't no telling. But as soon as he seen my face turn back around, he said, I didn't mean any harm. I didn't mean any harm. I just wanted to talk some more. And y'all, let's be mindful. We're about 45 minutes away from where we were in the very beginning. So that he came a long ways just to be talking. All right. And so this man, he just felt like he really, really needed someone to talk to outside of those hours. And I said, okay, well, sir, I'm sorry. I'm about to go do something with my friends. And maybe, maybe another day, we can catch up or something. I had to make it normal. Okay, even though it wasn't normal, but I didn't want anything bad to happen to us. So anyway, we ended up leaving, and we had called the police because I just had a feeling that this guy was still going to be lurking and waiting around for us. And he was. He was lurking around the corner waiting for us to come out so he could follow us again to our next destination. And when I tell y'all, after that, I stopped accepting gifts from men, specifically whenever I realize that they are into me. when I realized that this man it might be head over heels for me, or he might feel some type of way about me, even though I ain't did nothing to him. I haven't showed him that much affection. I might have only had a conversation with him, but let me tell you, that's all it takes for some people. You know, that night, if I wouldn't have been on top of my P's and Q's and I wouldn't have had people around me, I probably would have got kidnapped by somebody that night. You know what I'm saying? And that's just for me being too kind and accepting things that I shouldn't have been accepting. I shouldn't have accepted more than the average from that man. You know, I shouldn't have. And that reminded me of this man that tried to buy me lunch. And then when I told him no, he tried to throw the money at me. And you're saying, man, I wish I had people throwing money at me. But let me tell you, you out here on the street by yourself. You don't know these people. And even though they're your customers, you might think you know them. But if you ain't been knowing them for years, then you need to watch out. You know, it's a lot of women out here. We out here in these streets by ourselves. Ain't no man out here with us. We just out here. So when you out here, you need to be careful. And you don't need to be accepting strange gifts from people. You know, especially in situations like those. But I just wanted to kind of talk about that. It might have been a little bit of off topic, but I thought about that. I said, you know what? Somebody else needs to hear this, because I'm pretty sure if somebody else would have had that money thrown at them, they probably would have said, you know what? Ain't nobody looking. I'm going to take this money. But the repercussions that probably would have came from that money coming to me later, that man probably would have came stalking me, looking for me later. You know, he was already telling me how pretty I was and all that kind of stuff. You know, read the signs, guys. You got to read the signs. And you got to be careful. We're out here on these streets. We by ourselves. And the only thing we got out here is some dog spray. Okay? So you need to be careful. All right? And don't be accepting that money just because you don't think nothing's going to come of it. Because I'm telling you, they looking for something in return. So y'all be careful out here in these streets. Y'all know that it's about to be a lot of people trying to give you things, but you need to be careful. A blessing is one thing. Okay? A blessing is one thing. Let's say that again. A blessing is one thing. They're not coming back looking for it. A blessing. You might not even know who that person was that gave it to you. That's a blessing. Right? Somebody that's giving you something and saying that they don't have no attachments behind it. Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. If this person is always in your face, smiling and grinning and always wanting to get up on you and stuff, and then they want to give you something out of nowhere, and you know how this person feel about you, don't accept it. All right? So y'all be careful in these streets. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.